What's up guys, welcome back to another in-depth car specs. I did change my name again just because I wanted to sound a little bit more professional. Top car vlogs, I don't know, it seems a little bit too childish, I guess. But yeah guys, today as you see in the title of the video, I will be installing the Cobb downpipe. I do have a resonator delete, just letting you guys know, so it's not only the downpipe. The car's a little bit loud, but since I'm gonna add the downpipe, it's gonna be just a little bit loud. It's not gonna be that loud, you know, it's like a nice loud, nothing that will bother neighbors. I was checking it out and I've seen people that take off the bolts back here on the intercooler, but I think what I'm gonna do today is take off the hose clamp, and I don't have to take off those two bolts back there, which are pretty hard. Take off that clamp, and then there's another clamp back there, but first I gotta take off the wastegate, not the wastegate, the blow off valve. But yeah, let's get to it guys. So first two bolts that I'm going to take off are these 12mm bolts that are holding the harness for the tubing and all that. So I'm going to take those off, and then after that I'm going to take off the blow off valve. These are also 12mm, so I'll take those. So I'm going to four bolts in total right there. Just so you guys know, the blow off valve bolts are a little bit longer. So just so you know, that's a little difference between these and these. These are longer. Once you take off those four bolts, watch out, there's going to be a gasket, so don't drop that one. It's very tight in there, so mine doesn't fall off. Next one I'm going to do is these two bolts, so this one and then the other one on the other side. There are also 12mm bolts, so pretty easy. These do not have any nuts, not yet, so that's good. You don't have to worry about dropping anything. And then the screws for these are, it has like a little flat on the top, just so you guys know. Just thing to focus, there you go. So next, what we're gonna do is move this out of the way, so move that out. Take off this hose right here, and you're gonna get your flathead. You're gonna take off this clamp here, this one, and that red one down there. Those are connected to the intercooler, so you get that off. So once you take off those two clamps, you just start wiggling. So you're gonna start wiggling. So to just start wiggling, and then you have to push it while you're wiggling. Push it up and to the right side. So these clamps can move to the right, and then this one up. Trust me, it's gonna take a little bit, so don't be scared. I am wiggling it, and nothing has broken yet. So letting you guys know, you guys are do it a little bit easier. So once that red clamp comes off, all you gotta do is pull it up so you can get it away from the tube, and that's it. Now all you gotta do is just pull it out. Make sure you don't, there you go. See, you don't have to take off any of the other stuff. You don't have to take off those four bolts that are there. Just the clamps, be good to go. So that's the space that we're gonna have to work on. It's a decent amount of space though. There's a turbo, wastegate. So now you gotta take off all the bolts that are holding on to the heat shield. I have found, so they are 10mm, but first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the top shield. For the heat shields, I'm gonna tell you that these are the bolts. So the super small ones compared to the other ones. So those are the heat shield ones. Alright, so take off the heat shield. I'm gonna show you guys how many bolts. So there's one here, there's two down here, there's one here, one here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Take that out. Now, the fun part, taking off the downpipe. So we come over here and count how many holes there are. So there's 5 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So go back here and check where they're located. Now these 5 bolts that are on the downpipe, they're 14 millimeters. So this one right here. And then be careful with the nuts, they might fall, so be careful with that. So you take out that bolt. Both of them are 14, so a bolt and the nut are 14 millimeter. Took off this one up here. I'm gonna take off the rest, which are the 4. Once you take off the other bolt and the nut, you will have this piece, so watch out it doesn't fall off. Took off the one down here. So for that one's just the nut. There's no bolt, so just letting you guys know. So I put a little bit of W40 on this one because it wasn't getting loose. So right there. Alrighty, so one more thing before taking it off. The O2 sensor. So there's this thing this pin right here. All you gotta do is push it out so you can take it out, work a little bit more comfortable. Once you take that out, there's a little tab on top of the O2 sensor. So the tab that I was talking about is this one right here. I don't know if you guys can see those 3 lines. Take off the light real quick. So these 3 lines right here, you see them? All you gotta do is push the tab with your finger or with the flathead, whatever you want, and then just pull it out. Once you do that, your final step is gonna be to take off that bolt right there, which is your little hanger. That's a 14 millimeter, and that should be about it. So there's one more down there. Hopefully you guys can see it right there. You see it? One down there. So that one right there. Take that one off and you should be ready to go. Now to finish off the uninstallation of it, now you gotta take off the O2 sensor, transfer it into the other one. Just look right there, and we'll be good to go. So for these tools, for the O2 sensor, I do not have a bigger one than 18 millimeter, so I'm gonna get one of these, big old wrench. In Spanish we call them picoloro, but we're gonna see if this one works. Alrighty, so O2 sensor is on. Look at the difference between that bell mouth, closed, flap. See, this is a flap. Alright guys, let's put it back together. So I went to O'Reilly's and got me a blanket for the exhaust, since it doesn't come with a heat shield. And I also went to Home Depot to buy some clamps for the exhaust, well, the blanket. Alright guys, blanket is on. So for the installation, so installing the new downpipe, you're gonna have less bolts just because it doesn't bring the heat shield unless you buy it from Cobb. But see all those bolts right there, those 8 bolts, I'm not gonna have it because that's off. Got the heat shield now, the blanket I guess. But the only bolt that I'm gonna use again is this one to hold it back. For this is the mount that's back there. And then those 5 bolts in the front. I also noticed that there's another heat shield down there which moves a lot, so I'm gonna take it off since I already have the blanket. It's under the turbo basically. Alright guys, so to put it in, my opinion is that you put the top one first. Don't tighten up the bolts, just present them there, tighten them just a little bit so you can put the lug nut in there. And then once you do that, get the back 2, so those 2 back there, so you won't have to hold the downpipe. Then once you do that, get a flathead and push it up here. It's a little tight fit, especially with OEM parts. You always are gonna have a little bit of tight space. The O2 sensor is a little bit farther away now. It used to be in this hole, that hole right there. Now it's on the back one. So I did go on top, and then there's this cable. So the cable that it came with, all you have to do is just pull it off the transmission a little bit. Just pull it down so it could reach. Once you have it connected, all you gotta do is just plug it in that hole that you just remember it was there the whole time. Just put it there and that's it. So we put the downpipe in. Now we're working on with the intercooler at the front. So we're gonna take off the red clamps that were here, and we're gonna tighten up the other side instead. So that one's it's gonna be set. All right, guys. So everything's back normal. Everything's put on. I did put the 2 bolts. Remember this one, and the other one on the other side. This one right here, and this one. Voice crack. And then these 2 up here. It was a struggle to get on, so it's so normal. You guys can get over it. But patience, that's all you need. Patience, and that's it. Now I'm gonna do the ECU tune. So I'm gonna put stage 2 with the Cobb right there. And then I'll give you a start up of the car. So ECU is tuned, successful. I'm gonna get my brother to record real quick. Hey guys, I'm gonna turn it on. Go. What's up, guys? Next day here. I did finish the installation yesterday. I did go for a ride. You get lots of pops and bangs. The only thing is it's a little bit raspy, but that's about it. And power gains, you can feed it a little bit. Remember, I still have the stock mufflers, which are big as hell. So most of it's being back pressured, so there's not that full potential. But it sounds pretty good. It's not bad. So yeah, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the installation. Please leave a like, subscribe, and let me give you a quick cold start. I'll be doing videos next week. A little flybys and stuff like that, so you guys can hear a little bit better. But this is just an installation for today. But yeah.